To 78070, let's text DVD to 78070. You'll pay $150 as a deposit plus your normal network charge. Plains TV will get back to you to complete the order and you'll get your free DVD by post. You can't say fairer than that. And we do have to add...
So the blades have arrived in manta formation. We have blades 1 and 4 in the middle, blades 2 and 3 are on the outside as they go over the top for the manta loop. Now as the blades fly away from us there, they're shifting the formation slightly into card formation. They're all going to pull up into the vertical for the next manoeuvre, where 2 of the aircraft will fly a stall turn and 2 will perform a pushover to create the champagne fountain. Now this next manoeuvre is one of our new moves for 2014. The blades are going to fly directly back towards us. They're using the crowd as the reference point for the manoeuvre. The 2 blades in the middle are going to cross a few feet apart. This is the crossfire break. Now if you keep your eyes on the 2 lowest blades on the left and right hand side, this is blades 2 and 3. They're each flying a series of snap rolls and then they're going to end up upside down, pushing negative G as they get themselves ready to fly down the display line directly towards one another. It's a combined closing speed of almost 400 miles an hour. Blink and you miss it, this is the 1v1 cross. Now blades 2 and 3 are going to complete that manoeuvre. They're just going to cross round the back of the circle there as blades 1 and 4 make their way down the display line. They've each flown an aileron roll and they're going to pull up into the vertical for another new manoeuvre for this year. This is the pair tail slide. Showing off the incredible capabilities of the extra 300 there, blades 1 and 4 close the throttle, fell backwards and then powered up again as they flew away. Now taking centre stage here, this is Andy Evans, our solo display pilot. He's pushing -5 Gs, he goes for an outside loop there, straight into positive Gs and snap rolls his aircraft back down towards the airfield. Now he's getting ready to put the aeroplane into an upwards going spin. This is a manoeuvre called the launchback. That is a Czechoslovakian word which translates to headache or hangover, and as you watch Andy finish that manoeuvre, sure you can appreciate why it has that name. Now Andy will be back a bit later on to do some more solo display flying, but in the meantime if you look to your left we've got blades 1, 2 and 3 coming back towards us. They're going to come down the display line and demonstrate the roll capability of the extra 300 in the blades twinkle rolls. Is purpose-built for aerobatics. It's got huge ailerons that span the entire length of the wing. It gives the extra roll capability of 420 degrees in less than a second, which is incredibly fast. Now Andy Evans is rejoining the formation at the back there. They're into box formation now. There's about 12 feet from wingtip to wingtip. Something that you might not know about the team is that we hold the Guinness World Record for flying the most number of consecutive formation loops. So showing you how it's done now, the blades are going to go over the top for a formation loop. Now when they reach the bottom of the loop, this is a good one for the cameras. The team leader is going to bring the team round in front of us, showing off the underneath of the aircraft in the blades box bend. Now Andy Evans has moved out to the right there to get into line abreast formation. This next manoeuvre is our signature manoeuvre. As far as we're aware, we are the only display team in the world that does this. It's the most difficult of the entire display to fly. All 4 blades are going to pull up into the vertical. Controlling the aircraft on the rudder pedals, they're going to stall to the left for the hammerhead. And if you recognise 4 aircraft pulling into the vertical like that, you may remember it from the Yorkshire Tea advert, 4 aircraft flying out of a teacup. That was us. We filmed that just over a year ago. No camera trickery, we did that live at our airfield in Sywell. Now the blades are going to roll over the top here. This manoeuvre is dedicated to the brave few who fought in the Battle of Britain. It's the Spitfire roll. Thinking that you'd like to give it a go, well the good news is that you can. We are the only display team that also operates as an aerobatic airline, and we take passengers every year in the front seat of our aircraft and we take them looping and rolling in close formation so that they can get the experience of flying with the blades. We fly about 400 people at all sorts of events at our base in Sywell, so if you'd like to fly with the team then you can do so. All the information is on our website at blades.com. Now this next manoeuvre is the most photographed manoeuvre that the blades do. Andy Evans is upside down at the back and everybody else is doing what we call putting in a boot full of rudder. This is how the blades do crazy flying. So controlling the aircraft using the stick and the rudder pedals there to hold them as they come all the way down the display line. So leading the team today we have Blade 1 Mark Cutmore. Cutty was a Jaguar pilot in the Royal Air Force. He spent 3 years... Now, as the blades fly back towards us, they're getting ready to pull up at half-second intervals, one after the other, to the blade snake. Has a 24-foot wingspan, but this is how we do big air manoeuvres, using the smoke going over the top. The blades will create for you this afternoon the whirlpool. Flying in the Blade 2 slot today we have Miles Garland. He's a former leader of the team and he's the only blade who's flown with all 4 positions, so he's flown as Blade 1, 2, 3 and 4. Miles was a Harrier pilot in the Air Force. He was leader of the Synchro pair during his time with the Red Arrows and he's one of the founding members of the Blade team. He shares Blade 2 with Andy Offer, one of the directors of the Blade, and with Chris Carter, another of our part-time pilots who also flies for Virgin Atlantic. Now we're moving into the second half of the display here. Mark is going to call to split the team in 2 for the Blades fan break. Now Blades 2 and 3 are on the outside. They're the ones you can see pulling up into the vertical for some synchronised spinning in the pairs launcher vac. And it's non-stop action in the Blades display. If you look out into the distance, we've got Blades 1 and 4 climbing high into the sky. They're going to stall towards each other and cross a few feet apart for the beak-to-beak cross. Now another amazing thing about the extra is it flies upside down in exactly the same way it does when it is the right way round. So showing that off, we've got Blade 1 Mark Cutmore. He's inverted, flying alongside his teammate Andy Evans. Mark is going to push negative G as Andy pulls positive G as they climb into the vertical before stalling away from one another in the mirror stall split. Now this next manoeuvre that you're about to see appears to defy the laws of physics. Blades 1 and first four are each going to fly half a loop and roll out when they get to the top. They're then going to use the propeller as a giant gyroscope to throw the tail over the front of the engine in the twin tumbles. Now planes 2 and 3 are very quickly making their way back in, ready for the 1v1 slip. So flying as Blade 3 is the newest member of the team, Ian Smith, otherwise known as Smithy. Smithy started off as a Chinook pilot when he joined the RAF before moving on to join the Jaguar Force. He spent 3 years on the Red Arrows and his last posting in the RAF was as the officer commanding for the Battle of Britain Memorial flight, where he was lucky enough to fly the Spitfire. Now as Blades 2 and 3 fly away from each other, they're flying a few series of snap rolls, leaving the way clear for Blades 1 and 4 who are making their way back towards us once again. They're going to climb high into the sky. It's a beautiful day today, so they're going to climb to about 2,500 feet. They're going to put the aircraft onto its side and then in perfect synchronisation use the rudder pedals and a bit of stick input to flick their way back down towards the airfield in the double knife edge dive. Our solo display pilot. Andy is a lovely guy, but once he's inside the cockpit, he is absolutely insane. Now he's started half a loop there, and he's going to put his aircraft into the centrifuge to make his way back down towards the ground. He's going to come out of that and control it solely on the rudder pedals as he line slides towards the runway. Now Andrew has a slightly more powerful version of the Extra. He flies the Extra 330. To demonstrate that power, he's going to get as close as you can to hovering this kind of aircraft. He's going to lose all of his speed and actually fall backwards through his own smoke. He'll then let the weight of the engine, which is at the nose of the aeroplane, pull him out of the manoeuvre. Now Andy is already on the lookout for his Blades teammates, Blades 1, 2 and 3, who are flying back towards us. Andy's going to fly directly at all 3 blades and he's going to pull up underneath Blade 1 smoke for the goose manoeuvre. Blades 2 and 3 will simultaneously barrel roll around Blade 1 smoke. They're going to bring it right round in front of you, so get your cameras ready as the blades do the Gatling. I hope you've enjoyed watching the blades. We've got just one manoeuvre left to go. We've saved the best till last, but I hope you've enjoyed the show so far. If you're a Twitter or Facebook user, then please do keep in touch with the team. If you've taken any photos, we would love to see them. We are at the Blades team on Twitter and we are the Blades aerobatic team on Facebook. But I hope you enjoyed the rest of the day here today at Dunsfold. It's been a pleasure to be here. The Blades are getting themselves ready for their last manoeuvre. They're going to fly directly towards us. They're going to use us as the reference point once again. There's going to be 10G in every single cockpit as the Blades prepare to brake in front of one another for the Blades brake. Ladies and gentlemen, that was the 2014 Blades display team. I hope you enjoyed watching, and on behalf of Blades 1, 2, 3, 4 and myself, thank you for coming.